Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have something that I low-key thought was already coming. This is a news that I'm not really too surprised that occurred, but definitely it was an interesting situation to say the very least. So this is regarding a famous person that I would like to introduce to you guys. She goes by the name Bonnie Blue. So she is a pretty good-looking person, an attractive person at first glance, and obviously she is a specialist and a person that is great at what she does. In fact, she currently, I'm pretty sure, holds the world record for, I just want to say what she does, right? So I'm sure there's people out there that are very interested in her craft and what she does for a living, but that's simply just not me. She's done viral stunts before, which has made her a very controversial figure overall, as in the reason of her world record, to be specific. But the reason why she currently is in the headlines is the fact that she currently got arrested while she was in Bali. So the situation that happened was, recently she traveled to Bali with the team and rented out a villa or studio or whatnot. And what she wanted to do was like film content, as in do her work. So what was supposed to be a contract business with another, I would say, let's just say she had a contract with a company that is very involved in this type of business that she does for work. And her and those guys pretty much went to Bali and then rented it out. So it was like a business trip. They went there to basically do some work. Now, what ended up happening is that there was a police raid on this studio, which was a surprise inspection. And what the police ended up finding was a bunch of cameras, lighting, production equipment. They found the materials that are used to perform basically what she does for work, and a vehicle, which I guess if you know, you know, that was used for filming the contents. So there was around 17 male tourists that were detained alongside her. And the main reason why they got arrested is pretty interesting, because this same situation in the Western countries, such as, like, let's say United States or America, or even the UK, where she herself is from, wouldn't have been a big deal. It's something that is, I guess, it's pretty normalized in modern day society these days. So, but the main reason why she was arrested is because by Indonesian law, the work that she does is actually illegal very strictly. And this forbiddenness, or like this strict illegal policy, does not exempt foreigners that come into the country, which is why I'm saying that the 17 male tourists were of Western, like they were like Australian and British. So they weren't really like Indonesian people, but they were foreigners. So what this means is that this person is 15 years plus large fines based on what she's done. She's actually been released, but her passport got taken, so it's not like she could move around or go anywhere else. And she's been transferred to immigration. But however, the investigation is still ongoing, and the police is still investigating her. She probably, I mean, not maybe, like, let's be honest, she probably is gonna get away with all this stuff, but we're looking at like hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines and like up to like decades in prison, which is pretty serious. But the thing that you tend to see is, like, the more famous a person is, the more influence that they have, they tend to get away with stuff like this. So it's nothing too crazy. But most likely, in my opinion, I think she's probably going to get deported. Probably the most likely thing, and probably just be banned from entering Indonesia ever again. Something more on the calm side. Like, I'd be happy if I was her, if that was all they did. But there is a small chance of formal charges, which could obviously be a pretty bad situation for her. So the online reactions currently are split opinions. Some people saying that the laws are too strict. People are talking about how this particular law is preventing people from truly expressing themselves, which is like depends on how you look at it and how you perceive this individual that's involved. Obviously, she's a very controversial figure, and I have not analyzed her craft in detail, or I have not seen it. I've just seen headlines on newspapers that stated what she has accomplished. She's definitely a very accomplished individual, definitely a more experienced individual, to say the very least. But that goes to say she's probably going to get away with it because she's so good at her craft, allegedly. Country of Indonesia, which has obviously had very strict rules regarding this type of filming, and I'm sure she was familiar to an extent. It's not something that was just like not put out there. Like, it's pretty well known that Indonesia is a pretty conservative Muslim country. I would like to think that she was just unaware. It'd be pretty messed up if she went there knowing the laws and just thought she could just get away with it. But then again, Bali is beautiful. I don't really blame her, but she could have just used it as a regular vacation instead of, deciding to work during vacation. Now, the 17 male tourists that were going alongside her are pretty interesting because they were all released without charges. Okay, I would like to think in this type of industry, I'm assuming a few of them were, not directly involved in the work, what to say the very least. Maybe they were holding the camera or doing the lighting, something calm like that. But it's interesting how all of them were just released, and she in particular is the centerpiece on most of the consequences. Like, they are just as guilty as her, if not. So if she is guilty, I believe that a few of them are definitely guilty too. It's just interesting how the laws were a bit more lenient towards the males than the female. I just thought it was pretty interesting, to say the very least. But the main takeaway that I would have for you guys is the fact that the number one thing you guys should do before you travel to all these beautiful places is understand that these are very different environments and settings that you guys are going to, and understanding the laws is very important. Indonesia, for example, does have a very strict morality law, stuff that you can and cannot do, and just being aware of what you're getting yourself into prevents you from dealing with the police or ending up in a situation like this. So currently, the situation as of right now, she's been released, but she does not have her passport. There is an ongoing investigation, so we don't really know how's this gonna end up. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.